Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hegfreeze here. Today I am bringing you 3 awesome entitled parent stories. Keywords include birthday party, lawsuit, and college plans. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the stories. My dog needed to be put down so her kid could trespass freely. This is something that happened quite a few years back, but I remember it well since it became one of those family stories you always tell for a laugh. I was 20 and living with my mom in Dominican Republic while I finished college. At the time, I had a little long-haired Chihuahua named Punky. He was the sweetest dog in the world and the neighborhood kids generally loved him because he was always up for play. At the time, we were living in a nice neighborhood and the house had a large backyard. Instead of a fence, the backyard had a 7-foot wall surrounding it, and there was a large cashew tree close to the wall. This is important to the story. Now, if some of you have never seen how cashew grow, please Google cashew fruit. When the trees bear fruit, they don't hold back. They grow heavy with the fruit and mom usually gives the fruit away to the neighborhood kids. The characters in the story are EM, entitled mom, M, my mom, EK, little crotch stain, J, judge. Like I said, my mom generally gave the fruit away to kids or let them come in and pick it themselves. But as always, there was one little brat. Enter the kid from across the street, EK. He got it into his head that he didn't want to knock on the door and ask for fruit. He would instead climb the 7-foot wall and take the fruit from the tree. This would make Punky go crazy, thinking there was an intruder in his yard and mom would run outside to get the kid down. Now, my mom knew the family was a bunch of idiots and didn't want trouble. 4 times she spoke to the boy telling him, "Please, just come to the door, you're scaring the dog. I will give you all the fruit you want if you ask." When talking to him didn't work, mom went to his house. M. Your son keeps trespassing into my yard and climbing a tall wall without supervision. He's making the dog very upset. He can have the fruit, but he needs to ask. EM.
I can't control everything he does all day. He can go wherever he wants. Chain the dog if he's being difficult.
M. Well, no, that's called trespassing. I won't chain my dog in my own yard so your kid can break the law. And if he has a bad fall or if the dog bites him, I'm not responsible. EM slams the door on mom's face. 2 days later, it happened. My mom was in her room, she hears a crash, barking and crying. EK had slipped off the wall, landed on the dog's house and completely destroyed it, and the nervous little Chihuahua bit him. Mom makes sure the bite hasn't drawn blood and that EK hadn't hit his head, and sends him home thinking he's learned his lesson. A week later, I get the mail. EM was suing us for medical expenses and wanted my dog put down. I lost my crap. I wanted to go there and beat EM for wanting to hurt my dog. But my usually fiery mom made me calm down. We'd go to court. On the court day, I was very worried. I wasn't sure what Dominican law was on the matter, but I knew that in some countries any dog that bites is automatically put down. Enter EM and the judge. She was suing us for $4,000. In DR, that's ridiculous amount of money. For her medical expenses due to the bite, and she was demanding the dog be destroyed. The judge asks my mom to tell her version of the events and asks EM if this was all true. EM.
Yes, what she says is true.
J. So, you're telling me that your kid trespassed a home illegally to steal something he could get free in the first place, destroyed property while stealing, and got bitten by a scared Chihuahua as a result? EM.
Well, yes, but that dog is a menace, and my boy should be able to go where he likes. It's his right.
J. No, your kid is not entitled to go where he wants in other people's property. Sorry for the wake-up call. Do you let strangers wander into your home? Do you have photos of the child's wound? EM.
No, he didn't break any skin.
J. Then how do you explain your supposed medical bills for the bite? To my mom. Can I see this dog? Mom shows the judge a photo of the dog. The judge rolled her eyes. J. To EM. Do you understand that if your child would have trespassed into a home with a large dog breed, he would be dead? J. To my mom. Ma'am, you are free to go. If you decide to countersue for destruction of property and trespassing, feel free to. You have a good case. M. Thank you, but I just want to go home. And assurance that they won't bother us again. EK didn't trespass again. EM did end up having to pay mom's legal fees though. You can't decide your college plans without discussing it with me first. More of my mom's BS. There isn't much now since this happened today, but there might be an update sometime soon. Background context. I'm graduating from high school soon. I'm 18 and have already decided. 1. I'm going to community college first to get my basic requirements out of the way. And 2. I'm going to take a year off from school before I go to college. I plan to work during that year, get my driver's license, that sort of thing. I haven't told anyone on my mom's side of the family that I plan to move in with my dad over the summer, to keep it a secret from my mom. This side of the family can't keep their mouths shut, and I want to tell my mom one-to-one. My dad knows I plan to move in with him, and he's totally fine with it. My aunt was asking me what I had planned over the summer, and without revealing the whole "hey, I'm moving out" thing, I just told her about taking a year off from school, which my mom overhears. Cast. M. Mom. The EM of this story. A. Aunt. Me. A. So where are you going to college? Me. I actually plan to take a year off for work and stuff. M. Out of nowhere. Excuse me? You're not taking a year off from school? Me. Yeah, I am. M. I don't know where this attitude is coming from, but you don't get to make such a big decision by yourself. Me. Yes, I do. It's my college career. M. You can take a year off because of insurance. I'll pay for the first year at local community college, but you don't have insurance unless you go to school. What that means exactly, I don't know. I'm only 18 lol, but I'm assuming that as long as I'm attending some kind of school, her insurance will pay for any medical bills that might come my way. I get that she cares to some extent, but I highly doubt that 1 year not in school will cause Marlo Slow to suddenly launch every possible thing that could go wrong at me. A. OP, you probably shouldn't take a year off. Health insurance is really important and you never know when you'll need it. Me. I get that, but it's still my decision. M. We'll talk about this later. With that, she walked off since all this happened during my youngest sibling's birthday party and something else needed her attention. At some point, my mom went up to my grandpa and basically told him, "She's making decisions without talking to me." Like he's supposed to jump to her aid and talk me out of it. I don't know exactly what his response was, but since he never talked to me about it, I'm just assuming he either forgot, got distracted, or didn't want to get involved. My aunt pulled me to the side and apologized for opening that can of worms, as she called it. I don't know if it was that bad, but it definitely wasn't what I expected to happen. She basically repeated that maybe I shouldn't take a year off just for the insurance benefit, but that I should also do what makes me happy. I did somewhat hint that I didn't want to be my mom's free babysitter. She also said that going to college now will get me into the rhythm, that taking a year off will more likely keep me from going to college, and that college now while I'm young will get me further in life when I'm my mom's age than where my mom is now. I told her that I would think about it, and it kinda dropped off from there until later, where mom just repeated, "We'll talk about this later," before she had to go to bed for work tomorrow. I still plan on going to college, just not 3 months after graduating high school. Entitled mother ruined my birthday party because her entitled kid wanted to dance. Backstory. This happened 5 years ago on my 10th birthday party. We decided to hold it in Leo's Lakeland, an awesome place to hold birthdays in Oslo, Norway. So basically there are multiple rooms, diner room, pirate room, disco room, etc. Outside the rooms, there was a huge play area which most of the fun was. With that knowledge, we rented the cheapest one, which was the disco room. In a nutshell, there was a big ass speaker and a dining table for cake and pictures, along with a dance floor. We weren't planning to play music, however. So my classmates arrived. We were in 5th grade, I think. And after an hour of playing, I sat down at a nearby seat to take a moment to breathe. Here comes EM, entitled mom, and EK, entitled kid, and me, Batman. So I'm just resting and a woman sits a few seats in front of me looking like she just ran 10 kilometers. She's basically dealing with 15 grade schoolers. She looks at me for a second and notices the badge that is given to birthday kids, which also has our name on it. And she goes, "Ah, you're the one who rented the disco." Like she just went through a revelation. By the way, the rooms also have whiteboard with the invite list and the name and age of the birthday kid near the entrance. Me: "Yeah, why are you so shocked?" EM: "My daughter was waiting all year to dance with her friends on her birthday, but we didn't have enough time to rent it." An utter lie. We rented it a week before, so she could have rented it for the birthday months in advance. I nod awkwardly and run off to play some more. After 45 minutes, it was time to cut the cake. We sing songs, blah blah blah, and while we are eating, a blonde girl walks in really annoyed and didn't say anything. My parents thought one of my friends had upset her and she was here to tell on them. While being asked what's wrong, she cuts them off and says, "Will you be leaving soon? I want to dance." At this point, we have an additional hour to play after we eat. We laugh and say no. After that, all hell breaks loose. She runs off sobbing and returns with the bee I met earlier. The policy in the building is that if a family leaves early, kids can play in the celebration rooms until the time of the original renters runs out. She comes in, pushes me aside quite harshly and yells at my parents, "Can you degenerates F off?" My mom was shocked and my dad pissed. They told her to leave so the kids would not get upset. Moments pass by and while they're arguing and me starting to cry, EK runs past her mom and pulls the cheap cloth off the table and brings everything crashing down, including food, presents, phones and some other stuff. During the aftermath, they leave and I'm left crying. Not much of the presents were damaged, but the PlayStation Portable my cousin got had a cracked screen. Everyone leaves early with their kids and we are left to clean the mess. However, we talked to the manager, Karen style, and managed to get the name and the number of the EM. 3 days later, we pressed charges for harassment and destruction of property. 1 month later, we win the lawsuit, get the money she owed us, and more. My parents bought me a new iPad instead. Jokes on you, B, I guess you just got me a free iPad. Alright guys, that was everything I had for today. I will be back tomorrow with more fresh stories. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you have enjoyed the video and subscribe. Have a nice day.